Good morning. I feel like a toddler. Do y'all see? I try to start my videos with me in natural state because I feel like a lot of women are told that they have to always show up polished. And there's a process to that. And no, you don't have to show anybody what happens behind your closed doors. Not at all. I don't put anything on the internet that I don't want on the internet. But I'm not embarrassed that I started in one place and I had to work to get to the next place. So I really believe that, like, this is the beginning a lot of the times, right? Like, I wake up, I have hot flashes, I have to get myself together, you know? And so in having to do that, I think that the more you make normal life things a trendier topic, the less people feel like they're always missing out on something. Like, the things that I feel like I'm missing out on at this age and this time in my life are really like making sure that I pay attention and create memories. Like, the end. I'm just that's literally like, how can I sustain a life, health, financial and spiritually, and be able to see my family grow as long as possible and be healthy and be able to do it with them. Like, what does that look like? And a lot of that has to do with having a decent retirement and building skill sets that allow me to still utilize my mind so I'm cognitively there and mentally there. What are we doing? What are we doing? We are ham and cheese. Okay. I really was trying not to get anything gooky on my hands, but it's like inevitable. I don't want to tell it. I don't want to tell. Let's see if maybe I can do a little old school. This part of my hair right here really said, you gonna try to restrain me? So good. Yeah, but I feel like, I messed that up. And that's why I usually use my hands, because here we go. Making a mess. Making a mess. A whole mess. That did not need to be made. Why? Because you know what? Let me shut up. I was about to start complaining. And it was my fault because I know that I'm clumsy and I still thought I could do it. You know, you got to try things that you're not good at to realize that you shouldn't be trying things that you're not good at sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Like, at some point in the lesson, you got to be like, girl, you know you was not strong in that skill at the beginning, and now look at you. Now I'm going to take this ponytail holder out, redo it. I didn't want to do it. Try and make me do the right thing. Do the right thing. You got to do the right thing. Do the right thing. Okay. And lately, when I've been doing my ponytails, I've had them on crooked. I was like, oh my goodness, what's happening? I'm like, it's not fall yet. And I'm really working very hard because this morning was the first morning that I woke up and was like, we have got to get ahead of depression season. Like, we really have got to get, because we know it's coming, we got to start working on it right now. Like, not as it's up on you, you know. Because depression is kind of like, it's a slow storm sometimes. And it happens so suddenly and so easy that you forget that it too can happen to you. And so I'm always like trying to think of ways to alleviate some of those symptoms, because we're all going to experience things, because some of our bodies just have cycles that we go through, that we have to go through, right? It's kind of the way our bodies are built until we can rewire or figure out what the triggers are so that we can change that. And we can't change the season. I mean, we could move somewhere, but if that's not a financial option for you, then we have to figure out what can we do for ourselves before the season kicks in and takes us down. And acknowledging that it can happen is really big. And a lot of people try to, if I don't say it, it won't happen. That's not how depression works. Like, it's really not how depression works. Depression doesn't care if you talk about it or not. If it's going to happen, and you know it's going to happen, if you don't start fighting those symptoms that come around, you know what? I am going to take these black glasses. These cutesy ones. I got these from Amazon. If you don't fight those things like you fight your hair, because my hair, she's been disrespectful for a couple of minutes now, and I tucked my ponytail up under my nightstand like, so I'm going to use this other one, but it wasn't the mood I was going with. I need to buy some new ponytails. I need to buy some new ponytails, yes. All right, I thought it was 3. Yeah, it is. This one had like a bang in the front, and I cut the bang off because the bang was short and it was sticking off my forehead. I just couldn't figure it out. I don't know. Give it some life. The curls are like, Okay. That's what I have for today. All right. Okay. You know how you just it's in here. I just needed one more ponytail. One more ponytail. I mean, one more bobby pin. Okay. Next, what are we doing next? Next, we are moving faster. Okay. So, I washed my face this morning. I'm going to use this toner. I need to find, I'm like, some of my toners. I need to find them. What toner do you use that really hydrates your face? I found out the hydrogel ones, I do like this Don't Be Shy toner. It does a good job of moisturizing your face and hydrating it and not just disappearing into your skin, but not sitting on your skin, because I think that's one of the problems that I have. I don't do well with products that just sit on my skin because it starts to peel throughout the day, and I don't like that feeling or that look. It looks a little morbid. Not so good. Okay, so that's done, but where am I going with this? Am I going to just use, I think today I want to go super simple. This Murad moisturizer with SPF 50 in it. It really is a good product. I just found that when I'm putting on when I'm doing a multi-step face routine and then makeup, it doesn't work well on my skin. That way, it makes it peel. But in general, it's a nice product. And if you're one of those girlies who don't like white cast, okay. Because I was concerned about that. I'm not going to lie. Like, we can't be out here turning around and looking gray. Okay. My nose feels dirty, though. Every time. Every time I try to do something and make it dainty, here come my nose full of boogers. Nothing. Now, I've talked about this before. I've spoken about this palette multiple times, and I'm not sponsored in any way at all. But when you see something that you really, really like, you gotta talk about it. Now, I'm one of those makeup girlies who, I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of like a fair weather friend. I love a lot of products. I do. Because when makeup makes you happy, and it's really the art of makeup. And I don't have to know how to do all the stuff because that's somebody else's job. It's above my pay grade. But when you know what you like, you play. And so this is one of the palettes. Where is... Watch, I didn't put it somewhere where it's supposed to be. Why do I lose it? Because I like it. Okay. I can't find it. Since I can't find it, the show must go on. But their eyeshadow palette is, their eyeshadow primer is one of the best I've seen. It really holds the color. It allows you to blend well, but it doesn't let the product bleed. Okay. Let's see if we can make these eyebrows do what we want them to do. Remember, I'm trying to get them to grow back, so I can't just be out here hacking at them the way I want to. I want me. Usually just trying to clean them up a little bit, but not take away the hair that's starting to grow. Okay. And one of the cool tricks that I've learned is that don't try to control the eyebrow hairs. Like wherever they want to naturally go, let them go. And then that way you won't have like that contrast between your eyebrow pens and pencils and your hairs. Like you just gotta find a place where it fits and make it fit. Which I thought was like a cool little trick. And yes, somebody already knows that, but somebody doesn't, you know? So like that's the cool part. Today we're going to be using the Ofra makeup fixer. I like this because it is wonderful at setting, but it still allows you to blend, and it also doesn't allow bleeding. And that, I like that. I like that a lot. Little things that you learn along the way. Also, this has nothing to do with my face. This Drunk Elephant, this is a anti-pollination. This is an anti-pollution sun drop serum. I have used this on my face. It gives you just a cute little glow. Like, if you don't want to do any makeup at all, but you want to feel like you were sun-kissed, this little situation, it'll give you just a cute little moment, and you will not feel like you've had too much on your skin. Like, here's the color right there. It works really, really well. It is a cute little, I was outside in the sun when you know you can't handle sun, because like sometimes we can't. Like sometimes the sun be too much, but you still can look like you did something. Or maybe it's like winter wherever you are and you still want to feel like you were doing something. This Drunk Elephant anti-pollution. This Drunk Elephant anti-pollution sunshine drops. I'm gonna cut this out because you might want to look into it. This anti-pollution sunshine drops. It's good, especially if you're one of those people that like the sun treats you rude. Me, I don't do well in the sun at all. Focus, girl. What are you doing? I was thinking about doing my lips. Okay, clean them off. Whew. Who else? Like, the older I get, I'm like, not always what was I thinking about. Like, sometimes I'm like, you can't think about all of that at the same time. And sometimes I do my lips first because it'll give me a bit of like a roadmap for the rest of my makeup look. What color is this? Ooh. I talked about this before. This Parados makeup brand. It's an indigenous makeup brand. They have some of just the coolest colors. So let's see. What are we doing here? Is that a pimple trying to come out? Oh, you evil heifer. My nose hairs are invasive. They grow so much faster than my baby hairs. Oh my God, it's crazy. My lips are so dry. Oh, I'm not complaining. I'm sorry. Okay. I knew that was gonna happen. I was trying to prevent it from like landing on my clothes. And now I don't know where it is. And watch it wind up on my feet and then in my shoes. Okay. So what I'm trying to do is I'm using the Lovecraft Beauty This is the liner, and I believe it's Mercury Maroon or something like that. And then I'm going to use this Parados, and I believe it's like not a lipstick. This is called, the color is called Dusk. What I wanted to do is have like that maroon kind of sit up high on my lips, like you see where it is, and then blend in that liquid lipstick so I can it together and make sure that it goes in well. And instead of like using my fingers or brushes, I'm gonna go back in and see if there's any places that I need to fill in that are gonna make me feel insecure when I smile. All right, like sometimes you might have, see how you got like a little bit of white here, but I also don't want it inside my mouth because that's how it winds up on your teeth. Okay. Now that we have our lips done and our hair done, I'm going to do my eyebrows. Or am I going to do... I don't want to get out. So I guess we're not doing that. I need to go do all of this. The N Key. This is a good product as well. I want to try. That's not what I thought it was either. Okay. This is Huda Beauty's. This is, I believe it's a blush filter. But what I want to do with it is that I think I want to... All right, I wanted to get enough product on there. And then I want to go in. Nope, I think I want to use my fingers. Yep. That's what I wanted to do. Okay. And just give myself okay. And to prevent some of the creasing that could happen when you use blush in like these areas here, then you find a powder that kind of matches it, maybe a shade lighter, which then gives me a really fun chance to use a little bit of this palette. And I think I'm going to use... And with that, you're just trying to set the color a little bit. Okay. And that is the color Financial Burden. That's this color here. This palette is just such a great palette. Okay, let's try to do the same thing over here. That, my friends, is a cool way to infuse some color without having to do like a full eye. Clean it off my little fingers. And again, that was the Huda Beauty blush that I used on my eyes. And this is in the color Coco Loco. And then I use the Omo Never Fail. No, the Omo Lee's Without Fail palette. And I used the color Financial Burden. This palette is crazy. I just love it so much. I do need to try other stuff in the palette though. Like I need to try other products that they have. But I've tried the eyeshadow primer. I have their, I think I have one more thing from them. But it was like when they first launched, I was so super excited to use the product because I was proud that it was like somebody who was in the DMV. I didn't know anything about the company at all. I just knew that they were in the DMV. It was Black woman owned. And I was like, the worst that could happen is that I support a Black woman. Like literally that was the worst thing that could happen. And I was like, let me just step out and support someone who's over here. And that's what I did. Very happy that I did so. Okay. Now we need to do eyebrows. And I need to decide if I'm going to use mascara or if I'm going to use, if I'm going to put some faux lashes on. And I really feel like I'm going to use some mascara because I'm feeling overstimulated today. And I think that when you feel overstimulated, you should do things that lessen the burden. And so what closest to me was the Tower 28. I like this Tower 28 because it allows me to remove it from my eyelashes in a less panda-like way, right? It creates kind of tubes on your lashes. And so I like being able to remove most of the mascara without it like running down my eyes. A cutie patootie was like, well, Essence mascara also does is a good mascara and it costs $5. And I was like, okay. But I don't think the Essence one is a tube, like releases in tubes. But I said, wherever I can find a dupe, I'm in. And see? Not super crazy, but like it does a good job of popping the eye. Okay. good call, because I could feel me like about to, and it's like, why are you spazzing out when you don't have to? Don't do what doesn't make you feel good that day. Who the hell told me to grow up? I don't know. One sign you can tell when your pins are getting older. I'm sorry, when your pins are getting older, for like your eyebrow pins and stuff like that, when they start leaking a bit, it makes me sad. That means that I'm coming to the end of the road with my. But I just try to, you just clean it up. You still, you is good, you is wise, you was gonna do these eyebrows. Use your last bit of ink. That's all I'm saying. Just, now, let me say this. Because we are trying to grow our eyebrows, and because they don't grow the same, and they're also not shaped the same, you can see how you could spend too much time on your eyebrows. And so now, not now, but I've learned over the last few years, I just shape them so that they look the same size-ish. And if they look like The Rock, maybe, okay, fine. Like, one up, one down, maybe I look like I'm judging you all day, but at least they look like I cared, Okay. Not bad, not bad, not bad. Okay, okay, okay. Now, the other side. Clean this off. It's leaking so bad, but that's kind of what happens towards the end of the life of the pen. All right, what are we doing? What are we doing? We are starting up here. Taking it out. And you see how like one set of hairs grows one way. And I'm just rubbing my Q-tip on my makeup wipe so I can get some of the liquid on there. And then that way, you can get a little bit of symmetry. A little bit. Trash. Start over. Where's the cap top? Okay. They're not exact, but they're as close as they're going to get before I start throwing stuff. Okay, so, all right. So ponytail, done. Eyebrows on, a little bit of shadow. Mascara, lips done. Not too much cracking. And for that, I always think about that. You know, like, I'll just go back over the end part. And that's why it's really good to exfoliate your lips, because you just never know how dry they are or how they're going to respond to a product. And so the drier your lips are, these liquid lipsticks will show everything. And that is crazy. It's crazy work. Okay, so this Ofra tip, not for Ofra, but whenever you're using like a setting spray or a fixer, let your mascara dry down. Trust me on this one. I've done a whole face, put the mascara on, and then sprayed. Started sliding down. Looked like I was in a horror movie. Okay. Ooh. That other one, that Ofra smells good. That's what we got today. Okay. And scene. Whew. Y'all have a good day. Bye.